I was able to book a last-minute canal cruise early in the morning on my last day in Amsterdam. It was worth every euro. Captain Dave, a lifelong resident of the city, was excited to share his love and knowledge of Amsterdam with me. After a long 2 weeks of business travel, being able to spend a few quiet moments on the water with stunning architecture and beautiful swans was just the ticket. We had the canals all to ourselves as the city was just waking up and there were no other boats in sight. Amsterdam is an old city dating back to the 12th century. Many of the homes we floated by were from the 15th to the 17th century. They were owned by wealthy merchants, and as with most things, the story of Amsterdam is a story of wealth and status. For example, if you look to the bottom right of the building with the red shutters, that is a parking garage with chandeliers. Yes, a parking garage. The homes are all 5 stories high, the maximum height that the wooden pilings can handle. Even though the homes look very small and narrow, they are very deep and there is often a large hidden garden and in some cases a carriage house in behind. After a large fire in the city in the mid-1400s, most homes were made with bricks rather than wood, and the black and dark red homes you see everywhere are bricks painted with special water-resistant coating to make the homes more waterproof. Each home has a beam and a hook extending from the roofline, meant to hoist furniture and building supplies of the tall, narrow structures, since the inner stairwells can't accommodate this. Some of the buildings have large double-wide doors on the main floor. These were likely warehouses where they needed to use horse and carriage to transport goods. Other buildings have shutters all along the main floor windows, and these were also warehouses, storing spices and other luxury goods from far away. In the richest area, the Golden Bend, the homes were big and magnificent. They didn't need the furniture hook to bring goods into the home. They had enough space to move things around. The wealthier merchants had double-wide homes and often used materials like sandstone to show their immense fortune. Fancy roof lines and large main floor windows were also evidence of having a lot of money. The main floor was used for entertaining, so the larger and more opulent the windows, the more impressive the home. There are 3 main canals, all man-made, and the Dutch take water management very seriously. They also take bicycles very seriously. There are as many bikes as there are people, and I learned quickly that they have the ultimate right of way. You really just need to get out of their way and take your time as you navigate the streets of Amsterdam. Bikes, pedestrians, and cars all seem to get along, although I did hear that many bikes and a few cars are rescued from the canals each year. Here you can see a very crooked row of houses. This is pretty common in Amsterdam. The wooden pilings begin to break down, and in time they need to be reconstructed. There are only so many times a building can be patched up before it needs to be completely replaced. In that situation, they pour concrete pilings and rebuild it, but the building facade must be maintained. So you'll see upgraded buildings with perfectly straight windows, yet the facade gives the impression of crooked windows. It can make you wonder if you're seeing straight, but it's also a really unique way to maintain the culture and history of this beautiful city. Amsterdam is home to the largest and possibly the only floating flower market, which I will need to visit on my next trip. All in all, seeing Amsterdam by boat early in the morning was the way to go. Captain Dave operates a 1928 boat originally owned by the Dutch government, and it's an intimate small vessel that carries up to 12 guests. It's fully electric with windows that open for great photo and video moments. Dave was a gracious host, and I can't wait to visit Amsterdam again and discover even more of this beautiful city by water.